Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Erickson TV. This is Curtis here with Lauren. Hey Lauren.
Hey everybody.
Hey Lauren, this is the fall time and this is when the school year is starting for a lot of people, especially the college students.
Yes.
In fact, our Shelley here was just talking about her sister started her first day of college today, so I thought that was very timely that we're going to do this episode. So we're going to talk a little bit about college as an investment, and then also about the crisis of student loan debt.
Right.
And so I thought I'd just do some really brief statistics, and then you could talk about what you've learned about student loan debt.
Okay.
And this is all not to make people feel bad if they've had to take a student loan to get into college, but just to talk about from a national crisis about how the volume of student loan debt and how bad it is. And so first of all, since 1978. The cost of college tuition in the United States has grown over by 900%.
Okay, that's not accountable by inflation.
Right. And in 2010, the average college graduate had accumulated approximately $25,000 in student loans per student. That's the average on graduation day.
This is only for four-year college.
Correct.
Okay.
Approximately 2/3 of all college students graduate with student loans.
Okay.
Americans have accumulated well over $900 billion in student loan debt, which is higher than the total amount of all credit card debt.
It's a lot of debt.
And this is part of where college becomes an investment. Federal statistics reveal that only 36% of full-time students who began college in 2001 actually got their four-year degree within 4 years.
Right.
So it's taken longer to get through school.
Right.
Just to touch on that is I think part of the reason is college is so crowded right now with the economy. There's been a huge upswing in college admissions, and so it's harder to get. And then with education cuts, it's harder to get the classes you probably want.
Right.
So what's your take on student loan debt?
Well, okay, for this video, I think what I want to talk about, because we've talked about the cost and the size of student loan debt, is recently an article has come out showing that, and I'm certainly not going to name the majors because I don't want to try to make people feel bad, but a study came out showing that for several of the less economically viable majors, the unemployment rate for college graduates with those majors was barely any different from the unemployment rate for people who just had a high school education. Okay. And in many cases, the median incomes for recent graduates with those majors was lower than the median income for somebody with a high school graduation, or in some cases very, very similar. Okay, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world if you went to community college and then you got a lot of scholarships when you went to college, you paid very little. But if you're coming out of college with a lot of debt, and then you have a major that doesn't really do much for you, that would be any different from what would have happened if you had just gone to work after high school and been in the job market for 4 years, that seems like a lot of debt to take on to not get very much of a return on your investment.
I think that's a great statistic, a scary statistic. This one kind of coincides with that. 1/3 of all college graduates ended up taking jobs that didn't require college degrees.
Right.
So
yeah, that's not even including the ones who just could not get jobs. So, you know, I don't want to discourage people from getting an education or from going to college, but please be careful. Okay. When you look at what's happening out there.
So on our next episode, we'll get into a little bit more about specifics about student loans.
Right.
And I think that's a good point to end this episode. We'll see you next time on Erickson TV. Bye now.
See you next time.